I'm trying to make a word that's the combination of beautiful and handsome.
Androgynous?
Handsuitable.
I like handsuitable.
Handsuitable.
I'm gonna
I
let them
thought
know
it was
that.
androgynous.
And suitable
Well, no,
sounds,
androgynous just means that you can look like both man and woman.
Mm-hmm.
but
It doesn't. You don't have to be pretty to be
I think
androgynous.
currently it's just that they prefer
and
to.
suitable sounds like something you give someone who's having an allergic reaction.
Give me a dose of handsuitable.
I'll take a double dose.
50 milligrams of hand suitable.
Double shot, if you will.
We can ask the doctor.
I thought that was water, sweater.
Double shot of water. I'm saying super hydrated. Gosh.
With that, are we recording?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with that, that's been a special opening to Freaks and Geeks. Hey, y'all, in the live. And to the people watching this on YouTube.
Wow.
It's one of those rare times where we are all together in person. And we decided to do this episode in cosplay.
Yes.
Let's
Sure
do
did.
a quick intro for the people who are not familiar with the show and for the people that are here. Let's just introduce ourselves, our handles, and what character we are. I'll go first. Hey, y'all, it's me, Nisha Plays. Today, I am Fire Fist Ace. And y'all can find me on all social media platforms at Nisha Plays. Who want to go next?
I'm Lex. You can find me on all social media at Part-Time Mirko. And I'm going to keep mine short.
I'm also going to keep mine Nisha and say that I'm Ash. As Nanami today, you can find me on all social media platforms at Finally Famous. FINALLYFAMAC.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Bevan. Y'all know me as Modest. You can find me on the Clock app and Graham Cracker at the Modest Musician 84. You can also find me at Blue Sky at the Modest Musician. So, and I am my staple character. You know, I am the Surgeon of Death after all. So
Fitting.
Beautiful.
thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So who had the opening question for this episode?
I believe it was Sweater over there.
Oh, okay. You're gonna put the minor on blast. Okay.
I mean,
Anywho,
Let's
since
get into it.
you know
For you over there, she's cosplaying one. She's not actually.
No one here is a minor.
We're all adults.
grown.
Grown.
Yes.
As
Yes.
hell.
Actually,
Very
get
grown.
get a character real quick. I'm 24. Clock at 24.
24. Y'all need to know my age.
Y'all don't need to know mine either.
Damn sure ain't about to find mine.
Anyways.
Opening question, please.
Yes. Oh, could you work with your significant other's ex in a close work environment?
Nope.
Is this close?
Well,
Wait, you think, you ponder, you ask your
is
follow-up.
this close work environment a UFC octagon?
This close work environment is whatever you want it to be. Imagination.
So
Let's set it like you see that you're gonna have to see them every day at the office or your
So-
place of work. I think
I'll
that
say office.
Yeah.
Let's keep it
Okay.
simple.
Yeah.
Office.
office. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I don't care because you're not with them anymore. But if I do see them texting you, they may accidentally on purpose get hit with some staples in the face.
The office ones or the Home Depot ones?
Yes.
Oh,
and that's it.
we'll sit to that. Bevan, have you had a second to give it a thought?
If that were to be a thing,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't really give a shit
Survey says.
because I got
Ding!
my own.
I personally, I think I'd be friends with them because it's like
Because you're a fucking menace.
no,
what you
no.
are.
Also true.
Okay, I want to hear why. Why would you think you'd be friends with them?
Can you hear me out?
I'm gonna hear you out. I'm
Yeah,
listening.
yeah.
I'm listening.
We're listening.
I was like, you know what? At this point, you might not realize it, but we are trauma bonded. And I see you.
If you're on
So-
the trauma bonded, doesn't that mean that your partner is just a horrible person?
Could be.
Could be.
They could be the problem.
Cheers.
It might not be their ex. As for me, I would say I could do it. I think it just depends on what capacity I work with them. And as long as it's like a done relationship, like y'all have not been like I low-key just need to know like y'all are not texting, like y'all are old good buddies and all that. But even,
That-
it would have to be one of those things like, oh, we dated years ago and we decided just to be friends. And that truly just means you just decided to be friends. And that's cool. The
So-
texting back and forth is fine. It's the toxic, if they got an ex and they like keep kind of flirting with that ex.
So, all right, so boom. Follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
This coworker asked you to just go grab something off the desk room right before the meeting because you were right there. Cool.
Mhm.
Turn around, get it, go into the room. And you see a sticky note on their computer, dinner date with, and it says your partner's name. And the same partner also told you that they were going to their mother's house that night.
I mean, that's
What's your next move?
expose both of them and just ask for them to be honest, because there's no reason to lie to me if you're just going to get dinner. The toxicity comes in when you lie.
No, I'm too crazy to answer this question.
Again, I'm fucking mad.
Actually, no.
You're too crazy to answer.
Actually, no. I will say this because I won't do it because I am too pretty for prison.
Tell your truth, Gremlin.
Crazy. Too pretty to be a gremlin. I'm a demon. You get it right.
Demonia.
I would personally pick out their date outfit and have it on the driveway on fire with a vase of dead flowers and be like, have fun on your date.
Damn.
And the rest of their stuff is in storage and I didn't tell them the location.
And
You know?
there's at least like 25
Once
storage units in every
again.
city.
A fucking menace.
Like, yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean,
But I love-
that's what
I love that for
I
you.
accept that answer.
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I feel like the more close capacity you are working with them, the more difficult it becomes. Like, say you're doctors and like you have to work with them, they're a surgeon, or say they're your manager at whatever job, and now you report to them, and they always bring up like, oh yeah, when I dated them, I'm like, oh yeah, no, oh when me and so were together. I feel again, the closer to proximity,
no,
the more toxic it becomes.
It's one of those moments where like you bring them to like a dinner, a work dinner, and they see their ex and it's like, you still look good in that dress. What the fuck you mean still?
Ooh.
There's just something you shouldn't say.
Ooh. It's the steel that should have never came out of your mouth. Ooh.
Again, I feel like you could definitely work with them.
As soon as I hear some shit like that, the next thing you're gonna hear is that glass breaking from Stone Cold Steve Austin's intro.
Oh,
And that was my last brain cell shattering. Now I'm a fucking problem.
What has the chat said on TikTok? For those who are watching us on YouTube,
I see we getting a couple of likes there. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all.
thank you.
Yeah. So
They said I could, but they will get a mean side eye every day. I live off of spite.
yes, we love that for
We like
you.
that.
We love that for
We
you.
like that. I
Living
agree.
off
That's wonderful.
living off of fucking spite. Any other comments before I read this next question that we have?
Oh no, you're good.
Okay. I had a question, just something simple that popped in my head the other day.
Mhm.
Would you rather wake up one day as a member of the Uchiha clan or a member of the Zoldyck family?
Zoldyck. I'll get
I
tortured.
liked you.
You too.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten that far in Hunter x Hunter, but definitely I'll be the
Like-
family.
Okay.
You're gonna get tortured to prepare yourself to be an assassin. However, I'm guaranteed to live through it.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
because at that point it's only meant to make me stronger and not actually kill me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And if
Whereas
I
the-
died, I wasn't strong enough.
Mm-hmm.
Also true. Whereas the Uchiha, if
Yeah,
Toby
yeah.
Rama didn't get his hands on you first, you might actually, kick the bucket twice. Because
Well,
reanimation.
well, the third
Mhm.
Hokage never happened.
Ooh.
Here's then, if you see this from the other side of the universe, or whatever 13th pit that you reside in, you gave your pupil's child an apartment, spoiled milk, and cup noodle.
If I knew the hand signals, I saw.
Oh, okay. So quickly,
Mhm.
whoever can do it the best. Someone needs an explanation of the clans. It's a non-anime watcher.
The clans, okay, the Uchiha clan are a clan who specifically specialize in genjutsu, which is in their eyes. And their eyes can help manipulate people, put people in trances, and also just help them learn other techniques simply just by viewing them.
Mm-hmm.
The Zoldycks.
So the ultimate copycat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
But-
this is a Naruto. For
Yeah,
those
this is
who
the
don't know.
Naruto. The Zoldyck clan in Hunter x Hunter, which people say Hunter x Hunter, I don't know. Anywho, Hunter x Hunter, the Zoldyck clan are a literal family of assassins.
Mm-hmm.
They all have different techniques and abilities that they specialize in. So,
But some of the basics are like poison immunity, super strength,
Yep.
yes,
all that stuff.
conjuring shit.
Yep.
Super precision, because we witnessed the youngest, well, second youngest, take out somebody's heart without them noticing.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
could pretty much shoot the wings off a fly on a deer ass from 500 meters away.
Dare I say he did all that without the power of Nin, like not having a Nin ability.
We're not going to get into Nin.
Yeah, we're not
I
gonna get all
apologize,
of that.
because
We don't have
Nin,
time for that.
We don't.
I don't have
Go
enough-
watch
don't.
it.
Look,
Just go watch it.
We
if
just
I'm
don't.
in character, I just got off. I don't have enough brain cells left
Mhm.
to explain
Yeah,
Nin.
no.
Because if I'm going to explain Nin, I might as well explain curse techniques.
If you
Nope.
do that, you might
Exactly.
as well explain the Titan curse.
That
We're not
is
doing
a
that.
whole.
We're not doing-
That's a whole episode in its own.
And we're not doing that.
We got to
Yeah,
keep this
not
train
doing
moving
that.
because
Yes.
it's New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
So-
it's New Year's
Okay.
Eve. Yes, again, it's New Year's Eve. Cheers to that. We understand that everybody's going to be out doing things, having fun.
Yeah.
We only ask two things of you: you be safe, and if you're gonna drink and drive, wear a condom.
Don't add to the population, don't subtract to the population. If you end up in prison, assert dominance.
Mm-hmm.
And you get it.
Also, but people are also agreeing. We have one Ray Tadori said Zoldyck immediately. I'm immune to poison, count me in.
Bet.
Valid.
Yeah.
Bet.
Valid.
Immune to poison.
Poison immunity is always a plus because
Always up.
You may end up like a special ability you never knew you had.
I grew up in the South and voodoo and all of that shit. So poison immunity is gonna come in handy for
Because how did Kilo get his inability by tasing himself?
me. Yes, that we're not gonna touch that. We're not gonna touch
We're
that.
not gonna touch that.
Hunter
We're not
x
gonna
Hunter
touch
can be discussed
We're not gonna
another
touch
day.
that. We're not gonna touch that.
We
Okay.
will celebrate that
So-
anime another day.
So I have.
Wait.
We need to take a solid 5 to 10 to unpack. We just watched season 2
Thank you.
of Blue Lock.
And the
Oh.
anything.
And I just want to start off. I'm gonna let y'all have this one. 'Cause I only
Let's
have
go
one.
this way.
I only
Let's
have
go this
one
way.
simple thing to say
Mhm.
for the people viewing this here and on YouTube. For the anime lovers who, for whatever reason, had such a distaste for the animation in season 2, you're just picky. Shut the fuck up. It genuinely was not horrible.
Yeah,
I can see where some of you were talking about may look a little AI generated. It's still better than you can do. So let's stop. Let's stop the brakes right there. It's better than what you came up with, for starters. So you're not going to go in the studio with the one individual who animated this entire season by they dammy.
Mhm.
Shut up.
Which I think it was corrected. There was just like a small team. I looked it up last night. They said it was a much smaller team. It wasn't one person.
If you're not one of those much smaller teamed individuals, shut the hell up. Thank you for keeping me accountable.
No problem. That's what we're here for. Yes, love Blue Lock. I also agree. I feel like the season as a whole was very enjoyable, very high paced.
Very.
Now I see why some of y'all were like maybe disappointed compared to last year, but again, given the context and circumstances, I would have just preferred if they took a longer break to make it and paid them people more and gave them more time and not such a, because I basically gave them shorter project timelines. They didn't have as much staff, and that cut into a lot of stuff that like the quality would have been much better. So
Slightly bigger budget and 18 more months to work on it
I
would have been diabolical.
I mean, I think overall I enjoyed it. It was high paced. It's like how I love. It's everything I love about sports anime because it gets. We were cheering when they got a goal. So like that's how
Like
you
we
know
were literally
sports anime
watching
has
soccer.
succeeded.
We were enjoying.
I was just like, damn, do I want to
This
play
anime
soccer
here.
now?
too.
But yes,
No, literally, you said verbatim. I want to play soccer now.
yeah. I'm like, do I want to play?
But
much.
in my opinion, this is coming from someone who's watched like smaller animes or other animes who also include AI or like CGI in their animations.
Yes.
I think a lot more animes are moving towards that
Yeah.
nowadays. So I do feel like people probably weren't expecting that from one of their mainstream animes.
Mhm.
But I think the way it was done tastefully. And
Agreed.
I think it was a little, not a little, very overcritical of people to criticize
Very.
the use of CGI and the lack of hand drawn animation, because all that animation is mostly drawn.
Yeah.
So
Without, at the very least, just getting more context of
Right,
like why,
right.
because some of this is could be a director's choice, it could be a CEO's choice. It's
Mhm.
not on the animator. Sorry, I didn't want to control.
No, you're
but,
fine.
Yeah.
Like, because there's some things that you might see and this goes for every anime or every
Mhm.
manga. There's some
Mhm.
things you might read that you might not see when it comes to the production, but that is not
Valid.
up to the animator. That is up to the producers and the directors.
Mhm.
Thank you.
So you're getting mad at the wrong people.
Yeah.
Get mad at the company, not the workers.
I
Get
feel
mad at your father for creating you, because why are you acting like this?
I mean, we.
Get mad at your mother for choosing not to swallow.
go ahead.
Or-
and write
Wow.
I was gonna say, write a letter to 8-bit.
Wait,
They were the
hold
ones
up.
that did this season.
Lex.
Mhm. Jesus. Bev, your thoughts on the season?
I hate you, Nick, because I've never watched Blue Lock before
Mm-hmm.
in my life. I tried reading the manga, but the manga was too slow for me. I got by chapter 3 and I just got lost. I was like, fuck it. So I didn't. I was one of the ones who avoided the Blue Lock fandom because niggas get crazy with shit like that.
Yeah.
But
Valid.
now I have to start from season 1 of Blue Lock because I don't watch these last couple episodes of the shit. And yeah, I'm invested.
Let me start off by saying
this man had to take off his shades, gentlemen and ladies. I just want you to be clear and be honest. Okay.
you're welcome.
You're welcome. Have any of us ever steered any of us wrong?
I mean, there was that one.
No, I have never. I am 5-0
One
at
time?
this point.
One time?
I'm 5-0 at this point.
Yeah, I'm not trying to understand. One time?
There were quite a few times, Nisha.
Sweater has a point.
I'm just saying, I am good at recommending shows to y'all.
Yes, I
Yeah.
never
Yeah, yeah. See, she's on my side. I was confused. Like,
With the
what?
one time.
What was the one time that I recommended something bad?
With the one time, you see.
I know my
It was.
anime
It
and my
was.
manga and my
What was that?
cartoons.
Secret Level. What the fuck was that?
No, you didn't
No,
like that because it was
that's-
an anthology series. They
And that
enjoyed
shit.
it.
Do not get me
I'm
wrong.
not going.
Once I had to just say fuck it and just watch just because.
Mhm.
Cool. It's not horrible. However, you could have warned me by saying that the episode following was not going to follow up from the previous episode.
Oh yeah, I love shows like that. Actually,
My
I
thing
like
is,
shows
and we
like
still
that,
got 5 more to
actually.
watch.
Hold on. Have we not all watched Love, Death, Robots?
no.
No, for real. And it's the people who made Death Robot. Some of them are involved in this.
I've not watched it.
Never heard of it.
I'll
should
add it
watch
to my
it.
list.
Yes, you should watch it. You both.
If it helps you feel better, I'm actually going through my list right now. I'm almost finished with Castlevania,
Yeah.
and Castlevania has been on my list to watch for like 2 years.
And who recommended it for you?
Anywho,
You gonna put her germs on her?
Anyways, guys, the chat say anything else before we move along?
Oh,
I ran out of kindness. Now I run on wrath.
I operate on
that's
rage.
very unanony of you.
Yes.
It's called a cosplay for a reason.
In Nanami's eyes, I'm a youthish. I'm 19.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, you should.
In character.
In Nanami's eyes, you're youth-ish. You should have known better than to go after somebody
Speaking
the way that you did.
of youth or youth-ish or lack of youth, for the people who have maybe the lack of youth and try to find the struggle in any and everything, or like to pinpoint and critique other people, this is not shade for you, I promise. This is just a segue. This is just a
I was about
segue.
to say, what you said fuck me for?
I think I know where you're going.
I'm so
I
excited.
think
Wait,
I
wait,
know
wait.
where you're going.
I would have rather
Wait,
you.
wait.
I would have rather you call me a hard earth.
Let her speak. Let her speak. Here we go.
I take my glasses off.
Also, if you haven't already, you should watch a Wonderful Attorney Woo. That is a great K-drama. Anywho,
Mhm.
Cognitive dissonance in entertainment. Example numero uno.
Mhm.
Why the fuck is Dochi being seen as transphobic?
She's not transphobic.
Not
Who said that?
Twitter.
Who is
going off
starting
of a
it?
lyric. Going off of
Because
a
she
lyric.
said, turns out the girl was really a dude.
Yeah.
She was confused why her man
mean-
was fucking another man.
I
What
mean,
the hell?
Because it
hold
don't
on,
feel like
hold
she
on,
found out he was
pause.
bi.
For the people on TikTok and for the people on YouTube, if you go through your significant other's phone and see that, for the fellas, if you go through your lady's phone and see that she is being hypersexual with your best friend's wife,
Yeah.
are you not going to be confused? Because you're thinking, my girl cheating on me with another dude. Wait, this is a whole woman.
See, I feel like this.
And vice versa. Again, to quote Doechii, turns out the girl was really a dude.
Yes.
Would you not, even in this day and age where we don't care if you're part of the Leviticus community,
Okay. Continue.
would you still not be a little? That's shocking for anyone.
I feel like at the end of the day, the bigger issue is she's upset that he cheated on her.
Mhm.
And then the secondary part of that, she's upset that she cheated on her with a
another
man because, and at least in context, granted, like it's a lyric. You don't have to have all the backstory and everything.
Yeah, you
But
know.
like in context, it's just like, oh my god, I'm shocked that my man who I was with is attracted to other men and like cheated on me with them. Like it's nothing.
We're gonna
There's
treat
nothing
that.
transphobic in that sentence. But I also feel like this is the problem with social media and the internet is because
And
people
reaching.
like and reaching because once
Very
somebody
much so.
once somebody feels like they can reach for something and make and get some kind of clout, they run with it, and then they label things the wrong thing. Words matter.
Words
Quote,
matter.
Quoting Crystal from the read. Words matter.
We're gonna treat that lyric
Ooh.
from Doechii, which Doechii, if you ever see this, we fucking love you over here.
We do. I almost
boom.
dropped my drink.
I
I
have
love
a painting of you on my wall.
You follow me on TikTok. You do. You should look. But anyway,
Famous.
That's it.
Continue.
I think I just got lucky. But and I'm honored. But we're gonna treat that Doechii lyric the way that we treat people who argue between sub versus dub.
Yeah.
Enjoy what the fuck you want and stop judging people for what they want to enjoy.
I mean,
That.
that's definitely one of the examples.
That.
I want to definitely go back to
You
other examples,
know,
but that's like
You
that's
want to
one
be
that's
like,
so tired.
you want to be like, oh, sub is trash. I mean, sub is great. You shouldn't watch it in dub. I enjoyed my life before I met you 13 seconds ago.
I don't think watching one or the other makes you better or more of a qualified fan. And I think for whatever reason, like, oh, I hate the dub. I'm like, that's fine. I enjoy
And your
it.
dad hates you. That's why
I
he
don't
left.
have time to like watch anime. I don't like some of us don't have time to watch anime and read the subtitles. Some of us are either working or like, doing another task and then watching anime while doing it, because you know how long it would take me to only watch subs and do the shit that I do
I have to watch in dub because you walked out of your son's life, and I have to show him that not every man in this world is a piece of shit.
I just feel like in 2025, can we agree that the dubs versus subs debate should just stay dead?
Can we just? I don't even know why it was resurrected in the first place.
It gets resurrected every 3 months, if we're being honest.
It's just like the
Some incel
Every 3
nerd
months
does it.
or every 2.
It feels quarterly.
It's literally
Okay.
just the anime version of the 50-50 conversation.
It-
Like it comes up quarterly.
Again,
I hate the 50-50 one because it's like
It's
bro,
not monthly.
if you specifically just to sidetrack a little bit, if you specifically just want to pay for everything, then do it. But if your girl wants to step up every now and then, or if your guy wants to step up every now and then, let them shut the fuck up. Either way goes, you're benefiting some kind of way.
I mean, personally, I like to trade off on things, and I feel like it all ends up either, if not close to being even. It's still nice. It's like maybe they pay for lunch or dinner. Maybe I get the drinks. Maybe I get the movie tickets. Maybe they get the concessions. Not everything.
If we go out, if we and we will get back on track after this.
Yes.
If we go to the movies and I pay for the tickets, please, for the love of God, stash some Chick-fil-A in your purse for me.
That's at the very least.
That's all I'm asking.
Or
Women,
Cane's.
y'all love big ass purses.
Cane's also.
Nah, Cane's
I want
is-
the garlic bread.
Nah, Cane's-
I bring my own sauce.
If
'cause I
there's
hate their
a
sauce.
Zaxby's nearby and I buy us movie tickets and you decide to stash me a wings and things with a vanilla ginger ale in your purse. Them cameras,
Oh, I love you.
them cameras in that movie theater are gonna see some
That's why you
wicked
gotta-
shit.
That's where you gotta get the big part. And Wicked,
Some
while watching
wicked.
Wicked.
It's gonna get real wicked
While watching Wicked, you hear me?
Bitch, we about to defy gravity in this motherfucker. You hear me?
Oh my god. Continuing back to other examples. Loathing. Loathe
Before
it.
we get back on track, I apologize for my voice.
Whoa.
That was a lot.
That's what she said.
You okay, Sweaty?
Also, if you're looking for a big bag to sneak into the theater and bring whatever,
Yeah, big bag.
shut up, let me say it. If you're looking for a big bag to fit your combo meals and drinks into the theater, check out Otaka House. Shameless plug for them. Shout out to Otaka House. Get the pink Sailor Moon shopper. I snuck in a Buddha bag of popcorn, which those are big, and 2 waters, and a ginger ale, and candy. And they were none the wiser.
No, prideful plug.
Mm-hmm.
Because who's
Prideful.
paying $14
Very
for a
much.
large popcorn when you can get a 12 box of popcorn from the store for half the price?
And it's better popcorn. It's way better. It's the sea salt Himalayan kind.
Yes,
And
God.
not the Himalayan.
Himalayan. But
Oh.
back on track. Other
Yes, let's get
examples
there.
we had, because I know I included one on there.
Yes.
Yes.
Unnecessary fandom outrage.
We basically spoke on that already.
Yes.
The
No,
only-
well, that
the
was
only-
Blue Lock. That was an example of
Oh,
it.
okay.
And
The
we're
only-
talking about our review
yeah,
of Blue Lock.
The only unnecessary yet somewhat necessary fandom outrage that I have thoroughly encouraged
Mm-hmm.
is
The fact that you thoroughly encourage
is a
it.
relationship between Tuxedo Mask and Silk.
Oh,
I
God.
think that everybody is a little worried of that.
Tuxedo
whole
Mask, if
dynamic.
you see this, he's a nasty bitch.
That was the origin of toxic relationships.
It
in anime.
was because
That-
like
That and Nana.
yeah.
I feel like Sailor Moon.
Child, that ain't even Yasha.
Hear me out.
Mm.
Hear me out. And I'm gonna let y'all finish this.
Okay.
Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask are the Monica and Quincy
Yeah.
from Love and Basketball.
And you know I can't see.
They are.
You know I can't stand
Yeah.
They are Monica and Quincy from Love and Basketball.
Yeah.
because the man loses his memory like every other season and has amnesia or he gets mind controlled. And then he just shows up and does the bare minimum. Like, why did Monica choose to play that man for his heart? Like, bitch, you played overseas. You won a championship.
He was on
You had it
crutches.
all. You could have had a bad bitch man in Italy.
A bad
I don't
bitch
know.
man.
A bad bitch, man.
Bad bitches in Italy. Sorry.
They
The love and basketball is a sensitive topic.
The only reason
Apparently.
motherfuckers actually liked Quincy was because he was the first city boy. He was a house husband because he fucked his knee up.
He was
And his wife was in the
ancient
WNBA.
And you know they weren't making enough back then because that was like 2000 or 1998.
She was probably making what I make as a first responder.
Literally, she
Right.
was on
crutches and had to do rehab. And I'm like, so one knee injury and you're out the league.
And this
for the
was
rest of your life.
after he took the hold of Burger King.
We're not even gonna go down there. I
Nope.
will give an example that is convenient because Lex is in the cosplay. I think we all have words to say about Don the Don. And a lot of people's reactions.
I'm gonna put these
Because-
glasses back on for that.
I feel like when Don and Don came out, there was a lot of reactions to episode 1, where Momo was about to be probed, trigger warning, / sexually assaulted by
aliens.
the aliens, which to everyone, this is why I encourage people to keep watching something or read it or maybe go seek out more information for context. Because when you go off that first episode, you make a lot of assumptions and you sound stupid after the fact. Because I feel like a lot of people are like, this is why fan service and da 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 and this and that. I'm like, y'all do understand in this context that Zero are villains. Villains
Yes.
do villainous shit.
Yes.
Their goal is to reproduce themselves. So yes, to do that, they are probing and impregnating and sexually
And they're
assaulting
also
women
dumb.
against their will,
They're also
and
dumb.
taking
As
banana
they-
hammocks,
Because
or banana organs.
Yeah, they're taking banana organs.
because they literally cannot reproduce on their own, and the way their species evolves and
Mhm.
thrives is if they need other species to help them evolve, and because they're not able to reproduce on their own. So that's the only other way they're going to be able to get any type of difference in their gene pool.
Exactly. So it's basically they're suffering from the example of like their bloodline thinning
You know
out,
what?
and they're not asexual.
Just to be a little me in
Mhm.
this scenario.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Y'all are upset at them trying to take the banana organs and Don the Don. But y'all are the same ones who were fully okay with these Amazonians death by snooze doing motherfuckers in Futurama.
Right, because that was
Mhm.
100%.
The same
Sexual
thing.
The
assault.
same thing, but literally.
Granted,
reversed.
the characters in Futurama were written dumb for a reason, and then like they were like down.
And the Serapos
to
are
that.
written dumb.
For a
Yes.
reason.
They're supposed
And
to
my
be
thing-
they're supposed to be a highly intelligent race of aliens.
But Fry and them was like, oh, we gotta die by having sex, and they were like in the male and like whatever they perceive as being the male fantasy, like, oh yeah, die by sex sounds great. In reality, like, you want to die by having sex,
and I don't even love you.
Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Do not get me wrong.
Like in reality, again,
Don't get me wrong.
context
Right.
matters in both.
It matters.
When you explain
It
both.
matters,
I'm
but
okay.
don't get me wrong.
Wait.
If I'm gonna come and go, I'd rather do it at like 85,
Okay.
not
Anyway.
35.
Oh, okay. Lex, you had the thought. I was just saying one at a time.
I
One
just
at a time.
That's
One
all.
at a time.
Just but
I just want
I'm
to
not
say,
trying
like,
to have my
this
pelvis
is what,
crushed that young.
like, but in regards to Don Don, this is what you gained off of one episode.
It was
Like, have you even like?
Not even a whole episode.
Like and I said this a couple of episodes ago. Like, if you're an anime only type of bitch and you're not gonna read that manga, then just watch the anime and shut the fuck up. Because if you just gonna happen to just make such a presumptuous accusation off of one episode, and there are 11 more episodes.
You know
The
what,
amount-
Devin? Cheers on that
But
one.
I would say like the amount of comments and video reactions and shit that we saw and like just people on Twitter, it was definitely like I feel like people just saw something and ran with it instead of having more context. And I think like somebody might argue like, yeah, but anime does this a lot. I'm like, I would not.
I'm not gonna disagree.
Well, no, I would say I would not lump all anime as in specifically always touching on sexual assault
Right.
because there's nuance to that. And I would say it's not always done for shock value. I think Heavily Delusion is a great example of them using it, but they did it in a very tasteful manner so that it was not triggering to people, but you still got the
gritty of it.
Yeah, you got the gritty of it, and you got the idea of what happened and how it affected that character without actually showing the act.
And if I can interject here, after that first episode, what people don't pay attention to is how hard, both in the anime and the manga, Okarun went to protect Momo from that point forward.
Yeah,
did.
And he's been standing on business this entire time.
And he has been whooping ass.
Yes.
And making sure that, yes, of course, he wants to look cool in front of her. Cool. We love that for you. Do your big one. But he's protecting the fuck out of her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would say that's the only example.
And
correct me if I'm wrong, but like y'all tell me, I think that's the only example in Don to Don where again, SA is shown
Literally.
in the series.
Literally.
Because I don't think it comes back up again. It's just enough to explain like the Cero's goal and like what they're doing.
Y'all
it's
are
not
ahead of me in the
used.
manga, but I'm like 160 chapters in,
You've
and
already
it's
read
not come
this.
back up.
You've already read
that.
So like it's not something that's used repetitively. That's
It's
when
not.
I would say something shock value. Game of Thrones did that shit for shock value. Falling in love with the person who SA'd you, I'm not with it. This is not that. Don to Don is not that. So I feel like again, y'all can have your feelings about how something made you feel in the first reaction. However, you may want to get more context, and that's one of my pet peeves.
Moving forward, we got any comments on TikTok?
Yes.
He said that is not the only example. What about the hot spring scene?
Wow.
The hot spring scene when
when
they
those men
went
were
to
okay.
Gigi's
My
house.
bad. Sorry. That's why I asked for it, and I appreciate the chat. Yes, the hot spring scene where in the last episode when those men tried to kidnap her without giving any spoilers. Like it's honestly, okay. So those are not actually humans. Those again are like possessed or like what we call them possessed or what we call them demons.
I'll say possessed by spirits.
Possessed by spirits.
Or yokai.
By yokai,
yeah.
and like they're like it's very cringy. It's very weird. But like I would say again, two examples of
But
it.
again, that's 2 out of 173 chapters.
Yes. And I think also touching on this, essay as not a theme, I don't like calling it a theme,
As
but
a
a whole, but like when it's used in a narrative, like it happens in reality. So people are going to draw from reality to write about that. And I would say like because the author doesn't do it in a way that glamorizes it or does it for shock value, I think is the main thing that we should keep in mind. Like they don't use essay as a plot device or to move the entire story along.
Right, because at the end of the day, it doesn't serve
because
the entire
there's much
plot.
more in the anime than just that.
Yes. If that was the whole thing, if it was suddenly about Momo being a survivor of the act, then I feel like that shifts it.
Me,
It was-
But this
me
was something
personally,
that almost happened to her.
That would be like a paradigm shift, if anything.
Oh yeah,
Right.
it definitely.
That would be a whole paradigm
and
shift.
just me personally, if the entire I'm gonna be 100%. If the entire first season and the manga continued on just based around her being a survivor,
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have stopped reading after a certain point because it's like, yes, I understand that what you went through was tragic and horrible, and nobody should experience that.
But it does not serve the plot.
Mm-hmm. And as long as it's not something that repeatedly happened.
Yeah,
over and
because
over
Yeah.
if
again
it
as a
as long
plot
as it
line.
doesn't become redundant.
Yeah,
Yes.
Because that was what prior to the ultimate like reveal of Evil Eye. So
Yeah.
that was still in the
Yes.
very, very
Yeah.
like beginning of Don.
and just like you said, I
And
feel
And
like
everything after that, you never see that
yeah,
again.
No.
and I feel like that was
Oh.
just like you said the other day when we had this conversation.
a
That
plot
was
device.
that was there just
Mhm.
for that and shock value, just like the first episode of Goblin Slayer.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah.
I think it does a
Yeah.
better job.
It got you to tune the fuck in to see what happened next.
Yeah.
Or-
Whereas like that's not the main thing that draws people in.
Yes, Lex.
Yes.
So no one is talking about, that scene with Griffith and the princess.
Oh, let's bring that up because I hate Griffith, and there's people who still say Griffith did nothing wrong, but he
literally sexually
manipulated
insulted that princess.
and manipulated her
Yes.
Yeah,
for his
yeah.
own gain.
Now I have not again
Goofy
going through
bitch.
my watch list.
I hate Griffith.
I have not seen Berserk, but I have
Same.
heard this same scenario,
Over
if
and
not
over.
if not at least 10 times.
Mhm.
Fuck Griffith.
If you 100% agree that Griffith did nothing the fuck wrong,
We can't be friends.
and you need to go to therapy.
You
Not
do.
therapy. You need a self-hug jacket immediately and
Yes.
hidden away from society.
'Cause
'cause
that-
everyone sees it.
And I see your self-hug jacket,
Mhm.
and I raise you becoming a fucking eunuch.
Mm. Mm.
forcefully
I mean,
euthanized.
I would rather you just make love in a padded room.
Really?
I'd rather you bounce off the wall something.
Just go ahead and make love to yourself in a padded room.
Bounce back and
with
forth
that
off
with
the-
that with that extra tight ass hug me jacket.
Any other comment?
bounce back and forth off those walls and just say,
Oh my god.
That just sounds like a you thing.
Mhm.
"Wanch."
Oh, Quill said because they're gonna listen to our podcast
Mhm.
and they said
Appreciate you.
perfect. I want to hear Orange Hat's full context for a second because I was like,
My name is
Orange
Nisha Plays, but thank you. I do like orange.
Orange hat.
mhm,
Yeah.
I like that.
Orange hat.
mhm,
Yes.
mhm.
Mhm.
So with
Yeah,
full
love
context
it
for
all.
what regarding Don?
I think he said for a second he was like no, but then we provided context
Ah,
and then
yes.
they
Gotcha.
agreed.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think the big thing is that when it comes to using things like sexual assault or other darker themes in entertainment,
Mhm.
the important thing to do is to remember, is this for shock value or is there some nuance to it? And there's a very firm line of like, what's the nuance here? And how is it being used in the story versus is it being used to just get people's attention
Yeah.
for shock value?
Because I feel a lot of the times that people get upset about this because they miss the nuance of
Yeah.
the actual plot of the story.
Or they're only seeing a clip of it, or they
Right.
see like a bit of it and they don't see the
Because-
whole
And they're
thing.
not
Because
being
people-
fed that context,
Mhm.
or it's like, okay,
Because
so
people on social media will
what am I
post
here
just
for?
that shock value clip just to get that bait.
Yes.
And just get people in to see that, to get the views
Yeah,
and the
because
likes
how
and
many
the comments
times-
to blow the fuck up.
because that one scene that we've been talking about
Mhm.
with Momo being
Yeah.
about us assassinated by
Yes,
aliens.
almost.
Yeah.
Yes.
There has almost, excuse me. There have been plenty of times where that one particular scene has just come up over
And
and
over.
over
Yes.
and over and over and over and the fuck over. And I'm just like, so this is what you're upset about. Yet again, you just missed the whole nuance. You probably once again have not seen either any of the anime or had not read any of the manga because of the fact that if you're gonna miss that nuance that quickly by just that one scene, how about you watch the rest of the episode before? it
Or
leads
at
up
the
to that
very
scene?
least, seek out more information from other people because I feel like the issue comes in where we treat reactions or opinions in a vacuum versus gaining our own. Which, like, granted, there is some partial nudity in Dandadan. It is
Yeah.
a more mature
Very
series.
minuscule.
Very
Very.
minuscule. I would say the amount of times that it happens, it's more of like comedic than
Yeah.
it is to be sexual.
Sexual.
Granted, though, the whole point is like Momo is a pretty high school girl. She has a developed body. So yes, if you see her and she like in the scene, she's down to her underwear and her bra. Like yes, that's how she's drawn. But we're not talking about a 16-year-old with a size F chest and
Or
doing all
Why gotta be
doing all
size F?
because that's what
Fine.
because that's in hentai.
Whoa.
Chill.
Whoa.
We're not trying to hurt their ears because that's what's in hentai. And I feel like people equate fan service to all that. Jesus, y'all just blew out their eardrums. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. But that question had to be asked.
I don't apologize.
Anyways,
Fuck y'all know who I am at this point.
Any other thoughts or examples besides Dawn to Dawn? Because I feel like we're heading towards the end of that. So, but I feel like I know there may be others, or the chat has.
I
any
mean,
questions.
there's without the account for nudity, there's in the remake, what is it, Yashihime? With Sashomaru and the little
Ren.
girl having a fucking child.
Yeah, because there's a lot of, again, that may have a lot of nuance there because he found Ren, and technically, I would say there's not adoption papers, but she became his ward and he protected her. But I think what a lot of people miss is that he sent her to go live with Kaede at some point in the series, and she raised her. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I have not seen it all. I know bits and pieces, but like I think the whole thing is like she went and did that, and then like they get married, and it's I think estimated she's either like in her late teens or early 20s when they get married and have kids. And I think about it this way: she would have gotten married off and had kids at 16, no matter what, because it's feudal Japan.
Oh, that's what I want.
Oh,
yes.
The fact that it's such a problem in this anime when you have to think about anime in itself, at its core, it is Japanese.
Thank you.
And there is cultural nuance
There
that needs to
Thank
be.
you.
It needs to be
That was
like
the thought. That was the thought that slipped my mind because I'll let y'all run. Because literally, in Japanese culture, 15 is considered an adult.
It's actually 14.
14.
And well, no, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
15 adult, 14 age of consent.
Thank you.
So when you think about that versus the age of consent normally found in the US, because that's where a lot of the outrage was stemming from, you have to think about, okay, but their mindset about this isn't the same thing as our mindset. And so that's when the nuance comes in, because like, okay, because of the cultural difference, people over there probably don't think anything of this because it's just like, okay, like
this is
she's a high
nothing new
schooler,
to us. Like,
whatever. Because out over there, I mean, granted, people do it over here, but it's a lot more normalized.
Yeah.
And when people over there are fucking in high school.
Yeah.
So when you see this here, an average American who doesn't think about or know anything about that, it's like, what the hell? But people over there, no problem.
Yeah. So
because again, like you said, it's much more normalized in that area.
Yes.
Again,
we gotta remember shit like that. Like cultures are totally different,
and context matters. And like, yes, of course, there's culture shock, but I think the thing to remember here is like, I would not say that Shisham. Like a lot of people said that he was grooming her, and there was like that was a word that was being thrown out around a lot. And I feel like the context here is that Ren was going to get married off at 15, 16, whatever, because it's feudal Japan, but also like the context of it being a Japanese anime. So like her getting married off young is one thing. Granted, the whole romance between them, I think a lot of people just in their mind only saw Shishomaru as a father figure to her versus seeing him as a potential love interest. And I think that, and like when they said, oh, his children are half demons, I'm like, oh, Ren's the mama. I didn't blink twice. Other people's like, I'm gonna hate that. I'm like, y'all, he didn't groom her
twice, girl.
I mean, like, okay, but like also if you're upset about that, be upset about Inuyasha and Kagome because he's 500
girl, say it again.
He's 500
say it again.
I see Inuyasha and I raise you for us as an anime. Aang and Katara. He's 112. She's 14.
Like shit though.
And people would argue that because he was frozen at the age of 13, he is 13.
No, because he's still age.
Exactly, because technically they list his age as 113 when he died.
He still aged because years passed. His body just physically did not age.
Yes, and I would say the same goes for Inuyasha and Sashomaru.
If y'all agree with that shit,
they're just teenagers.
If y'all agree with that shit, y'all grew up in a household where you found out that your grandparents had been married for 50 years, and then you found out that your grandfather was actually 8 years older than your grandmother. Y'all some nasty motherfuckers. She was in middle school, and then the motherfucker was going to college.
Actually, no, it's actually worse than that. There's a lot of them when your great grandmother or grandmother start popping out kids at 13, and her husband was 26.
And
Let's talk about that.
And she was 15.
Yowza.
There's a lot that needs to be
Yowza.
discussed there when we talk about it. Because I'm like, I know the age gap between my granny and my grandpa was maybe 12 years.
Yeah.
And like granny, she
I
was
don't
like
think that-
16. He was done with his first marriage.
I don't
after
think
that.
the age gap
So,
between
I
my
mean-
grandparents was that bad, and I'm cool with that.
But here's
But
the
I know people that are walking around to this day who have been married for years, and they have a 7-year age gap.
Well,
Minimum.
I will say this, and we will
come
change
back
it.
to
Yes, we
Yep.
will.
Because our,
That's
our
the
next
next one.
our next topic is just purely goof and
Yes,
Mhm.
I like
whimsy.
this is where I thrive.
I like. Here you go.
But people will make excuses about that, but then see this, and because because in their eyes it's not the same thing, will
Mhm.
immediately hate on it. And also that's mainly because nowadays, because of how things have just been censored and everything nowadays, everyone just wants to find something to hate, find something to criticize, find something to critique, and find something to cancel. And not everything needs to be canceled. Because things that y'all are canceling nowadays are why motherfuckers are walking around 20, 22 years old, even females, and don't even know where their own fucking clit is.
Y'all worried about canceling the wrong thing. The one thing, and I think we all can agree on this, and I'm just gonna put my glass up because y'all gonna talk to me on that one. We just all need to agree that shit like student loan debt needs to be canceled.
That can be canceled.
Today.
Having to have your credit check background to rent an apartment needs to be canceled.
Today.
Having to need a cosigner on a car needs to be canceled.
Today.
Being required to stay under a certain income so you can continue to afford an apartment.
Needs to be
Today.
canceled.
Yeah.
TUHDAY. Today.
Y'all gonna break their eardrum.
Wench.
Okay. Anyways.
Okay.
Lex, you have something next for us?
Someone said need that canceled yesterday for real. Come on, Joe. You got 30 seconds.
Hold on. Joe. Did you know you have 30
minutes?
seconds?
30.
30.
30.
Yes.
Oh my god.
But as I promised, the whimsy,
Yes. Bring it back.
our wonderful co-host Ash had the wonderful idea of us making dirty names for the Teletubbies.
I'll help us.
Yes.
And I took it on myself to find some earlier, and I would like for all of us to, spout some out. So I'm gonna go ahead and start.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you cook,
Okay.
but first let me just sprinkle a little cayenne in this motherfucker,
Oh,
and just say,
me.
no, I'm not about to one up you. I just want to say,
Okay.
I thrive in situations like this.
yes. Take it away, Lex.
Well, that being said, for Sun Baby, Fruit Baby.
Oh, baby.
Okay. I was thinking for Lala, it's Licky Licky.
Or gawk gawk.
Gawk Gawk.
Wait a moment,
That's a good
ladies and
Mhm.
gentlemen.
So
That's
Mhm.
insane.
Yeah.
That's
I thought so.
Mhm.
That's all.
okay, so I couldn't think of anything for Tinky Winky, but I thought about this one's a little clever.
You got it.
Because technically I didn't change it, but I did. So for Nunu, I did Nunu from ATL.
Girl, yeah.
Yeah.
Girl, yeah.
So I have one for Tinky Winky, and this goes for the Bays Bros and non-binary hoes.
Oh.
Don't mind the back door getting touched.
The South Side.
Spinky Winky.
Pinky Winky.
Bitch, don't you pet me, bitch.
I cannot right now. I can.
Spinky Winky.
Oh my
I'm gonna be
bad.
right back.
And that, y'all, either one of y'all can have that. Me personally, I see Dipsy, and I raise what I'm going to be before midnight.
Dipsy.
Oh, I was gonna say, oh.
Your mammy.
No, that was for me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
You are the shortest.
oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the reflex.
Why pose got to be a hoe?
So quick to be offended.
But why pose?
Yeah, mammy.
She lucky I didn't have a wench at the end of it.
But why pose?
Oh,
Gotta be a hoe.
I think I have to ask these questions for clarity.
And you know what?
the hoe gonna hoe.
In the words of our favorite Gloria Hallelujah Woods.
Mhm.
Instead of Lala. So I got Spinky Winky, Tipsy, and Ho.
That's a lot.
Mhm.
That's that. I think that's enough.
Mhm.
I think that's a no.
I might be biased. My personal favorite is Throw Baby.
I was about to say Throw Baby was great though. Throw Baby
No
was great.
baby.
I love it. Throw
Wait,
Baby.
wait. Do it at the same time. Come
Hey.
That's what she said.
on. Who wants to go to Paris? Not now.
Let's go
Not
to
today.
sleep.
Not today.
Let's go to sleep in Paris. Wake up in Tokyo.
I love it here. I fucking love it
Yeah.
here. You.
Or like,
Have a dream that you
regular
never
show.
leaves, fall in love in Chicago.
Ooh.
That
So
was a good one too.
So we're gonna wait for General Munchkin Man to come back,
First of all.
and
Munchkin
The
woman.
Munchkin Woman.
Munchkin woman.
Yeah.
Thank you.
the androgynous
The Munchkin woman.
But
The Munchkin
Go ahead.
woman.
What you was about to say next? Because I got something.
oh, okay. So before we close out this amazing episode, because
Mhm.
the audience has been fantastic and vocal, and I love
Thank
you
you.
all.
You got any more comments before? Just in case anybody else has anything to
Keep
chime in.
being hygienic hoes out here. Get
Hygienic.
tested
Please.
at
Yes,
least
please.
quarterly. I
Mhm.
promise
At
no
least
one's gonna
please.
judge.
And always go to your
Yes,
annual.
please.
And
It
if you
always
judge
goes
because
in.
someone asks you
You're
when was the
nasty.
last time you've been tested,
You're
you
nasty.
grew up raised by your father,
It
and we
is.
don't excuse that.
You do not. Let her finish though. I'm finish.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I know. I think I was silenced
Oh God.
because my adolescent years, I was with my father. So I don't judge them. I don't judge that get tested. I judge that when you don't get tested.
Thank you. Thank you for
yes.
clarifying.
Get tested. It's
Thank
important.
you for clarifying.
Control.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So-
keep
You
them
can't be
guys
a
up.
freak without passing the test.
And that's it.
Thank you.
Oh,
And that is it.
oh.
Thank you.
And that is it.
Thank you.
That's it.
Pass that freak test 2025.
Mhm.
Pass that
Freak test 2025.
That's on a t-shirt. That's on a t-shirt. Merch coming soon.
Also, that's one thing I want to know. I have two things. One, we do have Freaks and Geeks merch coming. Now, if throughout season 1 and this point in season 2, if you have a favorite quote that any of us have said, please send it to us at Freaks and Geeks Podcast on all social media platforms, and we will not only get that shirt made. Once it gets made and once it is available, we will shout you out because it's because of you that shirt was brought to life.
Or
Because we love the fuck out of y'all around here.
that, and we'll probably have it sent to you.
Yeah,
Just you.
As a just you.
Just how about to
Just
say?
you.
Not too much.
We ain't no charity.
Just you. Not you ain't, but you over there.
How about to say?
All right.
The Nami of this crew is about to look at all you have to be like, the fuck, freaks. That's for giveaways.
Yeah.
We'll do a giveaway in 2025 for the best quote that we like and we turn it to merch, and
100%.
then the winner chosen will get a free merch.
100%. Anybody else have anything to say before
I
Close
think
out.
I'm done unless you take something out of pocket that I can bounce off of.
Giggity. Bevan,
She said,
we're
huh?
almost going into 2020 motherfucking 5. You got any resolutions or anything you want to say to the babes, bros, and non-binary hoes out there listening?
If you plan to take bullshit from 2024 into 2025 and think that you plan to be friends with me, you are sadly mistaken.
Exactly.
Because you got me all the way fucked up 20 ways to Sunday if you think that I'm going to deal with your bullshit from last year into this year. Get the fuck together and get your life together, because it's about to be a new year. Even though we finna be on the same shit, it's about to be some new things on the horizon. So you better get with it or get the fuck lost. And above all, wash your motherfucking ass, bitch. Wash your ass. I need you to go ahead within the crack of your ass and open that motherfucker wide as hell to make sure that you are able to scrub that bitch. Because we don't need no shit locks or nothing coming out your motherfucking ass. We don't need it.
Okay.
We don't
With
need it.
that being said, Nisha, do you have anything else to say to the Munchkins and Smurfs of the world?
Yes. Jesus, that was a word. What I have to say is simply this: We're going into 2025. By the time this episode comes out, I hope we put it out before the end of January. But I will say this: going into the new year, violence is never the answer.
At all.
Question. And the
Yeah,
answer is yes. Don't cut me off.
I was agreeing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But no, everyone stay blessed. Have a great new year. I hope it's off to a fantastic start. And keep rocking with us in 2025.
Thank you.
2025, choose violence always.
Always.
Violence comes in all forms.
In all forms. And she is
All.
the smallest form. With that being said, Lex, do you have anything to say to the power tops and bottoms of the world?
Violence comes, but as do I.
Cheers.
And that
Violence
Are-
comes, but
Yep.
as do I.
that's our
That
show.
was great.
Oh, well,
And all-
do you have anything?
And all I have to say is we love you. We appreciate you over here in Freaks and Geeks. Tell your mama with the big ass titties that I'm coming to get my plate at 12:01. And with that being said, keep rocking with us. Questions, comments, concerns, bitches, gripes, and points. Find us at Freaks and Geeks Podcast or find us at B Minor 84 and the Modest Musician 84 on social media. Part-time Miracle, Nisha Plays, Finally Famous, FINALLYFAMACEE. We love you. We appreciate you. And happy motherfucking New Year.
That shit.
I'll be at her door at 11:59.
I'll see you there.